Most forms contain a code field, which is used to assign a classification code to the record. These codes allow us to categorize information and group similar activities on reports. Time Matters includes a comprehensive list of classification codes, but only relevant codes display for the current form. As Time Matters administrators, we maintain the classification codes used by the firm. Let's learn how to manage this list. From the File menu, point to Setup, then Codes, and select Classification Codes. A large set of classification codes for various types of records already exists in the program. When the List of Classification Codes window opens, only the codes related to the event form display. To view other types of codes, choose a different record type from the drop-down list. Let's take a closer look at the form. Classification codes are limited to 4 characters. The description helps users understand the code, and the memo field can be used to explain the purpose of the code. You can add, change, or delete classification codes from this list. Pick one of the buttons to learn more. When you are done, just click Close to exit the lesson. To create a new classification code, click the Add button. A wizard opens to guide us through the process to add the new code. We can disable the wizard and add the code directly on the classification code form if we prefer. Let's add a classification code for child custody. Codes can include letters, numbers, and symbols up to 4 characters. Let's type a description for the code using up to 12 characters. This description shows when a user selects a code from the list and also on reports. A memo can be added as an extended explanation. This field cannot be viewed from the code field on Forms. Let's click Next to continue. To help automate data entry, we assign an auto entry form to complete certain fields on the event form each time this classification code is used. Let's select the Client Meeting Custody auto entry from the list. Creating auto entry forms is covered in detail in another lesson. We can assign a color to help us easily identify these types of records. Let's choose red for this classification code. We can assign a form style to this classification code using either the default form style or one that we designed. When we choose a classification code that has a customized form style, the window layout changes to the new style after we select that code. Let's continue with the wizard. On the Additional Settings window, options that are specific to the type of code being created can be set. These settings are all unique to events or to-dos on the calendar. Some code types do not require additional configuration from this page. For custody-related events, let's set 3 reminders at 7 days, 3 days, and 1 day before the event. We use commas to create reminders for specific days prior to the event. To create reminders for consecutive days, we use a dash between the days instead. The other settings can vary by activity, so let's not include default values for this code. The classification code is now set up. We can open the classification code form to review and edit the code if needed. Let's just save it and exit the wizard for now. The new child custody code now shows in the classification code list in the assigned color. Classification codes can be customized for the firm. Let's select the child custody code and click the Change Record button. Since this code was created for an event record, the event classification code form opens, and displays the options we set up using the wizard earlier. In addition, an inactive checkbox has been added. If we mark a code inactive, it can no longer be selected for events. We can update this code's settings if needed, but let's just close the form for now. And return to the list of classification codes window. Classification codes can only be deleted if they are not connected with any records. If a code has been assigned to records, it can be marked inactive using the Change button, but it cannot be deleted. The child custody code was created earlier today, but has not been assigned to any events. With it selected, let's click the Remove Record button. A message asks us to confirm that the record should be permanently deleted. Let's click Yes to confirm it. The child custody code is no longer listed as a classification code. Now that you have learned how to add, change, and delete classification codes, you can learn more about creating auto entry forms and assigning classification codes by selecting those lessons.